North Beach was happening back in the 50s and 60s. It's still nice now, but back then it was gritty. Now there's a street called Kerouac, but back then in North Beach there was a real guy named Kerouac, and there were others like Ginsburg, Norse, Hirschman, McClure, and Bob Kaufman, just to name a few. Most people know they hung out here at City Lights, and the store is still around today, and of course so is their legacy. But a lot of people don't realize that with all the poetry going on back then, there was a lot of jazz being played along with it. Not so much anymore, but in the late 50s to mid 60s, a club existed just up the street from City Lights here that saw jazz and poetry collide. It was called the Cellar, and it was hip, man. Beat poets like Ruth Weiss cut their teeth on performance along with the Cellar's Jazz. You can still see the door to the club up on 576 Green, which today sits closed up like a ghost next to Citibank. But back then, it was poppin'. So head up now to 513 Green Street to 101 Records to scan the second flyer in this series for the completion of this Atemporal tour of the North Beach Beat Jazz Connection, and you'll get to hear poetry readings from the Cellar, a record recorded at the Cellar in 1957, where beat poets Lawrence Ferlinghelli and Kenneth Rex Roth spit their poems along to the music of the Cellar Jazz Quintet.